So I want to know how often you embrace the body type with the season that we happen to be in. For example, that we're approaching summer. Do you keep a more lean body? Or in the winter, do you pack on a little more fat and go bulking style? Do you feel like there's somewhat of a rhythm based on our biological nature that our body actually benefits from? Because something I was thinking about, if you were just bone shredded all the time, would the body even respond to recovery or hormonally in the best way? And it's not even bone shredded, say just a very above average leaner state versus in the winter packing on some fat, but I'm not talking over crazy amounts of fat. I'm just saying, do you think there's a hormonal benefit and even showing up on blood work that could be from packing a little more fat in the wintertime to being a little under fat near closer to the summertime? I just wonder if there's a good break for our body, because as we know, you can cut up and get shredded and there can be an effect on thyroid and definitely some under recovery that kicks in, like when not having enough nutrients to recover for the joints, for the brain. Maybe it's just a little extra cortisol and stress, on the body when you're trying to maintain a lean state, unless you found that sweet spot. And I feel like that's what a big piece is checking in and being realistic about it too. Because I thought about that. I'm like, okay, we're maintaining this lean state for a long time now, and could we just continue to keep that lean state? And how healthy would it be long term to keep that lean state body? Now, it's just the day-to-day, right? There have been periods where it's hit where I'm like, wow, I'm definitely under recovered. And usually it's correlated to sleep. When the sleep's on point, a lot of the results that you want really come second nature, to tell you the truth. You can be perfectly slept and have strong mental energy in a lean state or a state that has a little extra body fat on it. I know that there's like 40% of your genes are affected negatively when you're in a sleep deprived state. So there's already a pack of inflammation and excess stress and factors that you're fighting just from that state that's unslept or underslept. So really getting to bed on bedtime always ends up being the good one. And then you can go, all right, if I'm going to check in, I'm going to add extra carbs when my body needs the energy, eating for the demands. And I'm going to make sure that if I'm feeling like really, really bad, like I'm dragging, most likely my body isn't ready to push a super hard session, like a really intense, brutal lifting session. Let's hold off on that lifting session, maybe do some cardio, core or calves, and even walking outside, whatever it is, to do something that's a less fatigue accumulating. And that's a really, really big concept that at long term I've started to understand. You need to understand the fatigue accumulation that is occurring from specific exercise that you're doing. So this way you can sort of have a good trend of here's how many exercises I do when I lift weights, but here's how strenuous this is, and here's what kind of resources, from a food standpoint as well as a sleep standpoint, is going to be needed for me to feel in a good way. Because you don't just want to be crushing lifting sessions and then just feeling like crap every day and run down on energy and having no energy for anything else that you do. So you can find that sweet spot, right? But it's definitely a check-in process, and don't feel like you're falling behind just because you didn't get a lifting session in. Take that as a good opportunity to stay on top of the clean diet, to get outside and take a walk, to go biking, to go skateboarding, to go swimming. You can have other kinds of movement that in your mind need to shift as this is a win. This is a win for the day, because you're then checking in what is appropriate for the day. And now the best part is, when you listen to this, you're going to be able to get lifting sessions that are the most productive lifting sessions you've ever gotten. Your strength is going to be high. Your pump will be a lot stronger because your nervous system is fresh. You're not going to have these dragging sessions or dragging moments through the day where you feel like you need to rip a bunch of extra caffeine. So I'm just telling you, it pays off in the long run. Don't just put an expectation in your mind that I need to train back today, chest tomorrow, legs the next day, arms the next day, 4 days. Like, just really check in after each day and go, is this day more necessary to do a less fatigue accumulating exercise? And that really is what keeps you ahead, because it not only keeps fat burning high, muscle building high, energy is on point, focus is on point, clarity, everything else comes into play. So hopefully this performance hack, a couple of these tips helped you out. Let me know.